fighter you killed and buried has come back to life.
My name is Jean-Pierre Rastignac.
Martin Tillman is trapped inside a brutal Burmese prison camp run by a sadistic German fugitive named Steiner. The camp isn't about justice or reform, it's an empire built on violence, fear, and profit. Prisoners are forced into underground death matches, fighting for the amusement of gamblers and war criminals. Martin is one of the strongest inmates, and that makes him valuable. One day, Martin is dragged from his cell and thrown into a filthy pond where another prisoner is waiting. The man has been promised freedom if he kills Martin. The fight is savage and desperate, but Martin overwhelms him. Just as the opponent begs for mercy, Steiner signals his enforcer, Rastignac, who executes the man on the spot. The message is clear: no one leaves unless Steiner allows it. Martin is marched back to his cell, his reputation as the camp's deadliest fighter now firmly established. On the way, guards stop to harass a local woman named Isabel. Martin steps in, headbutting one guard before being beaten down by the others. Later, Martin is shocked to see Isabel inside the camp, calmly delivering flowers to Steiner. She has a complicated past with him, bound by fear and obligation. Still, she shows Martin unexpected kindness, treating him like a human being rather than a monster. Not long after, a British agent named Harrison confronts Steiner. He reveals that Martin is wanted in England for a string of violent crimes tied to a bloody revenge spree. Harrison demands Martin's release. Steiner pretends he doesn't even know who Martin is, but the pressure worries him. Eventually, Steiner decides Martin is more trouble than he's worth. He calls Martin in and coldly informs him that he's free. Martin walks out of the camp with nothing and nowhere to go. He drifts until he reaches a small town and stumbles into a bar owned by Valentine, Isabel's adoptive father. Valentine offers him food, work, and a place to exist without chains. Martin becomes the bar's bouncer, and for the first time in years, life feels almost normal. He grows close to Isabel, and the violence inside him begins to quiet. The peace doesn't last. One night, a bar fight erupts. Martin steps in and brutally shuts it down, leaving several men badly injured. Word spreads fast. One of the injured fighters belonged to Steiner. The next day, Steiner's men, Boone and Rastignac, arrive at the bar. They demand Martin return to the fighting pits to replace the crippled fighter. When Martin refuses, Rastignac threatens to destroy Valentine and take the bar by force. With no choice, Martin agrees. Back in the blood-soaked arena, Martin is thrown into relentless fights. He wins again and again, filling Steiner's pockets while sinking deeper into the violence he tried to escape. Steiner pretends to reward him, but Martin knows he's just another asset. Meanwhile, Valentine learns the truth about Martin's past from Harrison. Years ago, Martin hunted down and killed the men responsible for murdering his family. He's not just a fighter, he's a wanted killer. Despite this, Valentine refuses to betray him. Steiner tightens his grip. He promises Martin one final fight, enough money to escape with Isabel forever. But there's a condition. Martin must throw the match. Desperate to leave this life behind, Martin agrees. The consequences are devastating. Steiner manipulates Valentine into betting his bar on Martin's victory. When Martin deliberately loses, Valentine loses everything. Steiner's men move in immediately. When Isabel protests, Amarillo strikes her. Valentine pulls a gun to protect her, but Rastignac disarms him and murders both Valentine and Isabel in cold blood, just moments before Martin arrives. Rastignac shoots Martin and leaves him to dead. Martin and Isabel are dumped into a shallow grave. But Martin doesn't die. He claws his way out of the dirt, broken but alive. Isabel survives too, rescued by villagers. Martin leaves her in their care and disappears into the wilderness. Consumed by grief and rage, he trains relentlessly, turning himself into something even more dangerous than before. When Martin returns, he comes like a storm. He walks into Valentine's old bar, now occupied by Steiner's men, and systematically slaughters everyone inside. Amarillo barely escapes and rushes to warn Steiner. Trying to save Steiner's fortune, Amarillo flees with armed guards, but Martin intercepts them. In a violent shootout, Martin kills the guards, wounds Amarillo, and detonates a grenade inside Steiner's cash stash, destroying it all. Martin doesn't want blood money. He wants justice. Martin storms Steiner's compound, mowing down guards with ruthless efficiency. When he finally reaches Steiner, he doesn't use a gun. He stabs him slowly, ending the tyrant's reign face to face. But the violence isn't over. Boone challenges Martin to a final fight. After a brutal struggle, Martin shoots him to survive. Rastignac escapes into the jungle, gathering men for one last stand. Martin hunts them down one by one until only Rastignac remains. The final fight is savage and personal. Rastignac uses a knife, fighting like a cornered animal, but Martin overpowers him with sheer will. He beats him down and finally kills him with his own blade, avenging Valentine and Isabel at last. The prison, the fights, the manipulation, all of it is over. Martin Tillman walks away, scarred and bloodied, but free. The savage dog was unleashed, and no one who deserved it survived the bite.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.